Hey, ChatGPT.
Hey there, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going really well. I was wondering if you could help me with a coding problem today.
Of course, I'd love to help you out. What's the coding problem you're dealing with?
Okay, I'm going to share with you some code. 1 second.
Sure thing, take your time.
Okay, so I just shared some code with you. Could you give me a really brief one-sentence description of what's going on in the code?
This code fetches daily weather data for a specific location and time period, smooths the temperature data using a rolling average, annotates a significant weather event on the resulting plot, and then displays the plot with the average, minimum, and maximum temperatures over the year.
What can I add here to make this system faster?
Adding a cache between the server and database could improve speed.
What does this remind you of?
Schrodinger's cat.
All right, give me a band name for this duo.
Golden Stripes.
Nice. Thanks, Gemini.
Hey everyone, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel.
Hi friends, welcome back. So that was a recent demo from OpenAI, ChatGPT, and also Google Gemini. You can see clearly we're making advances in the AI space, and essentially what we're looking at is an AI assistant. We've seen these kind of things actually in fiction for a long time. This is a clip actually from the movie Her, which I really like. If you haven't seen this movie already, I highly, highly, highly recommend it because it goes into the human side, personal relationships we'll be having with technology, and sort of explores both the good and the bad. A lot of companies are going to be trying to capitalize on this craze. I think you have different players in the race. You got Google and OpenAI, which I think are going to be the leaders. Apple's trying to jump on board, but Apple's most likely going to partner with someone, either Google or OpenAI. The recent rumors have been, or I guess reports you could say, is that Apple's going to strike a deal with OpenAI. I think Microsoft's also going to be a player, and then you're going to have a couple outliers like Meta, which they're in the social media space, but they're also developing sort of goggles and vision technology. Their AI isn't nearly as advanced as say your OpenAI or Google or what Microsoft is up to, but I think don't discount Mark Zuckerberg and the team when they start to see the money that is available in that space. Yes, you have that outlier of Tesla, and they're trying to convince you that they're going to be an AI company, etc. The problem is that guys, they're a car company, and they just don't have the money to put in the research and development to develop this kind of technology. As much as Tesla fans want to believe it, I'm just not seeing it. What I do see, however, which I think is real, is Elon Musk is actually going to be diverting his time and resources to another company, and I think he's going to call it XAI is what he's been talking about. And he knows that that's sort of where the potential is. It's not really in cars anymore. It's in this space of AI. Now, obviously, the beneficiary of all of this AI stuff has been NVIDIA. That's why it's sort of been the hottest stock at the moment, because they're essentially the picks and shovel play. You don't have to pick, any winners or losers of this particular space. They can sell chips to all of these companies. The thing is, the thing I always question is, what is NVIDIA's current valuation? Meaning that, have we already priced in all of the good news? Like, how much more good news can we get? And going forward, I imagine there's going to be a lot of other companies jumping into this space, essentially copying what NVIDIA does. And I think, and I wouldn't discount it, there'll be a lot of Chinese companies supported by the Chinese government that will come in and try to undercut NVIDIA in terms of pricing. And then you maybe get some sort of price wars or more competition, as likely the US government will come in and support the US semiconductor industry. So, when in doubt, I think competition is always good for the space because it forces companies to innovate.
I see a speaker, which makes sound.
What is that part of the speaker called?
That is the tweeter. It produces high-frequency sounds.
Give me a creative alliteration about these.
Creative crayons color cheerfully. They certainly craft colorful creations.
So, ChatGPT, what equation did I write down there?
Ah, I see it now. You wrote down 3x plus 1 equals 4.
Yep, exactly. So what's the first step I should take to try to solve this?
The first step is to get all the terms with x on one side and the constants on the other side. So what do you think we should do with that +1?
Okay, I'm going to try to subtract 1 from both sides, and then I'll see what I get.
Great idea. Perfect. Now, what do you get when you subtract 1 from both sides?
What does that part of the code do?
This code defines encryption and decryption functions. It seems to use AESCBC encryption to encode and decode data based on a key and an initialization vector, IV.
That's right. What neighborhood do you think I'm in?
This appears to be the King's Cross area of London. It is known for its railway station and transportation connections.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
How can I brighten your day today?
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to show you a selfie of what I look like, and then I'd like you to try to see what emotions I'm feeling based on how I'm looking.
Sounds like a fun challenge. Go ahead and show me that selfie, and I'll put my emotional detective hat on.
Okay, so here's me. So what kind of emotions do you think I'm feeling?
It seems like I'm looking at a picture of a wooden surface.
Oh, you know what? That
what-
was the thing I sent you before. Don't worry, I'm not actually a table. Okay, so take another look.
That makes more sense. There we go. It looks like you're feeling pretty happy and cheerful, with a big smile and maybe even a touch of excitement. Whatever's going on, it seems like you're in a great mood. Care to share the source of those good vibes?
Yeah, no, the reason I'm in a really good mood is because we were doing a presentation showcasing how useful and amazing you are.
Oh, stop it. You're making me blush.
So overall, I was impressed with the presentations from OpenAI and from Google. My general thoughts on it are that OpenAI's ChatGPT voice stuff is more human sounding and more natural. It makes jokes, the voice sounds good. But I don't think Google's that far behind, and I think they're going to catch up. They have plenty of resources to throw at this thing to try to solve some problems. The real big division, though, is where is ChatGPT getting their information from? So when you ask it math questions or coding stuff, right, it's a little bit hard to figure out. But the thing is, like, for example, I was playing around with the ChatGPT stuff, and I'd ask it, like, what was the baseball scores from yesterday, that kind of stuff, or what's the stock market up to? And my version, and I have the free version, so you guys can let me know if the paid version is different, is updated last was like January 2022. So if the paid version gives you up to the date, baseball scores, financial news, all that kind of stuff, I'd love to hear it. I just, like I said, I have the free version, so I don't know. And then one of the things that I was looking at is the pricing of the current ChatGPT. I think it's like $20 a month. So why do I bring up pricing? Because even if this technology works, you still got to find people willing to pay for it. It's very similar as, say, the Tesla, full self-driving stuff. Let's say, for example, it works and it's awesome, but how many people out there want to pay $99 to not drive? I don't know, right? And that's something for consumers to decide. But that ties us back to the overall economy and how are people doing and feeling, right? Are we going to be spending money on these extra things? Now, in terms of like what Google is up to, et cetera, I think Google has the advantage because they're Google. They can use their assistant to access current information in any of the search ways that Google gets info. One of the big hits on OpenAI is that they use copyrighted stuff all the time. They data scrape stuff that maybe companies aren't so pleased with. So for example, Elon Musk, Twitter/X, Elon's like, yo, OpenAI, why are you data scraping Twitter? That's Twitter, that stuff is our stuff. You can't take it. And I think essentially he's trying to find a way to protect it from data scraping so that he can use it for his company, XAI. So there's definitely money in this stuff, but how far are we away to where everyone has it? I'll tell you the big one, and this is something that you guys probably know and probably figured out. The reason why Google did so well is because it was free to the user, the same way that Meta/Facebook, right? Facebook, Instagram, they're free to the user. Now, yes, it's not entirely free. You're essentially selling your data to them, selling your time to them so they can advertise to you. But I'm not paying a monthly fee to use Facebook. I'm not paying a monthly fee to use, Instagram. I'm not paying a monthly fee to use Twitter. I know some people do. I know Elon says, hey guys, if you want to use Twitter awesomely or X awesomely, pay me whatever, $8 or something like that. I'm not one of those people. I do have no trouble though, say giving money to like monthly to YouTube or to Netflix, that kind of thing. But would I pay a monthly fee to search Google, or would I pay a monthly fee to search Bing? Probably not. But that's where competition comes into play, right? Will I pay a monthly fee just to pay for assistance? Now, in terms of companies, if I'm using these assistants to do my job, right? If like a company's like, hey, I think our employees are going to be more efficient if we give them these services, yeah, I think that's certainly a possibility. But again, it all goes back to the point is how large is this consumer base, et cetera. And I think this technology is exciting, guys. So it's fun to talk about this stuff, and I just wanted to sort of throw some different ideas out there. And obviously, you got to talk about, as we talk about on the channel all the time, what's the Fed up to, et cetera, because essentially they control the money supply. Is the money flowing to these kind of companies so consumers have this stuff? And when given the choice of high price food or high price assistance, can we do both, or do we have to choose one or the other? Please let me know your thoughts on this stuff. What do you think about the recent developments of AI? Which do you prefer, Open AI, ChatGPT, or Google Gemini? Let me know. And thanks for watching.